Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Claritysoft training webinar. Today is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. I'm Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at Claritysoft, and our topic for today is building dashboards. Dashboards in Claritysoft are charts, and these allow you to take all that data that you've been entering into your Claritysoft in leads and opportunities and quotes and sales and build charts that show you the data in a graph format. So that's what we're going to be learning how to do today. And so first of all, we'll just talk in general about the dashboards module. View the ones that are built into the system. It comes with a number of dashboards that are built in, and then learn how to create new ones. And these are the ones we're going to do. And then depending on time, we may just take off and do some other ones as well. So with that, let's just go ahead and get started. Don't need much of an introduction today on this. So let me see here, find my Claritysoft, there it is. So the dashboards module in Claritysoft is here. And when you first go to it, there's nothing there. So the first thing is to figure out, well, how can I see the built-in dashboards? And what you have to do is come over here to the vertical ellipsis button in the upper right, click on it, and then go to settings. Here you will get a list. Now my list is longer than what you will see because I have some other custom ones that I've built, but you will see a list of the different dashboards that are built into the system. So for example, if I were to click on activities by type, it will then display that chart, okay? And I can see this is in a pie chart. It's counting the number of activities by type. I'm not sure what the time frame is on this. We can check that. But I can choose up to 8 different charts to display in the dashboards module. So you can select what you want to see, and then as you're entering data into the database, or as your team is entering data into the database, it will then update the charts. So they can be refreshed at any time. Basically, when you point to a chart, you get a little refresh button here and you can click it. And notice here, you can also edit the chart, you can delete the chart, or you can print it, okay? So those are all the options that you can do. So you can go down, choose what you want to see, turn them on, turn them off. If I uncheck it, then it goes away, okay? So that's how you see charts to start with. The other place that you can see charts is on the home screen. A lot of you, when you first start using Claritysoft, you land on this home screen, which again is blank. And then you're sitting there thinking, well, now what am I supposed to do? And up here on the left, you have a gear shape button. This is your settings button for the home screen. And you have 2 things, key indicators and chart indicators. Key indicators are the little boxes that you see up here. And again, now this, you have a fixed list. These are not able to be edited in any way, or we cannot create new ones. So the fixed list that's here is what you have. And you may turn on up to 4. If I try to click another one, it's going to yell at me and say you've reached the maximum. Okay, so on the home screen, you may turn on up to 4 different key indicators. And then they will stay there. And again, they will display, or they will update as data is being updated in your database. Then you go back over here and go to chart indicators. And this is pulling the same list that we were just looking at in the dashboards module. So this also will include any custom dashboards that you create and save in the dashboards module. You are not able to edit a dashboard here. You can refresh it, you can print it, you can remove it from view, or you can download it to, I guess, print it as well. So those seem to be new buttons. But anyway, so here, like the key indicators, you may have up to 4 charts displaying. If you try to display a 5th one, then it will yell at you. And when you're displaying them, you may click up here to refresh the data. You can share this screen with other people, like you could set up your home screen and then share it with other team members so they're seeing the same setup when they log in and go to the home screen. And then this allows you to see the charts in list view, which means they're going to be on a single line, and then you scroll down to see them. Some of this depends on, especially with bar charts, how many columns you might have. You might want it on a single line. And then this displays it in tile view. So 2 side by side. So that's your home screen, which hopefully answers some questions about that. And you can go there anytime and go to the settings and change what you're viewing on your home screen. And then that stays there. So let's go back to dashboards. And let's say we would like to create a chart that shows us the opportunities by the sales stage for the year to date. Okay. So what I usually recommend, and I recommend this for when you're creating reports as well, go to the module, and in the module, set up the filter that you want so that you can see what you should get in the module. So currently I have all opportunities showing up here. I've changed it, so you'll have to check that, okay? And then what I want to see where the close date is so far this year, okay? So I'm going to go to my Spyglass Advanced Search, and then I can go to the time filter. And then I can say, well, I want the close date to be year to date. So that should be anything from January up until today. Then I see my value up here. That's what I should get. And I see that I actually have 205 records, okay? And all of these records should be anything from January through today. So with the close date, all right? So that's there. And I haven't limited this by whether they're active or not. Now, if I only want to see the active opportunities, then what I need to do is edit my search. And let me see if I can get this to work here, because there is a new status field. If you go to the standard filter and you scroll down, there's a new status field of whether it is active or inactive. And I usually do contains. So let's say I only want active opportunities. That would not include those that are won, lost, or no decision. Those are inactive. So I've now constrained it twice. It's just year to date on the close date and only active opportunities. So we'll search, and you can see our number dropped. And we no longer see any won opportunities, and we drop down to 196 records. Okay. So got a lot of opportunities going, but not closing too many. All right. So that's my search. So I know that this is what I should get when I get into my dashboard. So I'm going to go to dashboards. I'm going to click on new dashboard. And basically, just like you do in the reports module, you kind of work your way across the different tabs here. The first tab is to choose your data. Where is your data coming from? It's coming from opportunities. Then the value properties are the y-axis and the argument properties are the x-axis. So what we want here is we want to choose a function, and the function is the sum of the amount, okay? Because we want to know the value by stage. Then the scale type, you can let it do auto, or you can pick what you want. I'm going to pick integer because that gives me whole numbers. And then down here, the argument property would be by the stage. You also could do this by the owner. So you could have one chart that's showing you by the stage year to date, and you could have another chart that you create that would be by the owner to see how many opportunities or the value of opportunities per salesperson. So we'll do stage. Whoops, I chose state. That doesn't work. Okay. And then the scale type here is auto. Again, you can choose what you want. This is really just going to be a value here. And then I'm going to say ignore empty in case there's anybody that doesn't, if there are any stages that don't have anything in them, which is possible. And then here for the measurements, you can, if your numbers are large, then you can say, well, show me the values in thousands or show me in millions. So you can see this is building the chart over here for you, okay? And now this won't be 100% accurate. This is based on just sample data. So it's just showing you how the chart is going to look so that you know you're getting something. So don't look at this in great detail. And then the chart type tab, this is where you pick what chart type you want. So you have bar charts, you have area charts, stacked area charts, line charts. So again, you want to pick what would be the most appropriate. You can do a pie chart, maybe, okay? But I think probably here, a bar chart is about the best one to pick, okay? Enable labels means that when you're viewing the chart, there will be a dollar value for each column displayed at the top, okay? So that's what that means. The top 5 we're going to do in another chart, so we will come back to that. Chart title, then what you want to do here is put in a title that makes sense for the what you're creating. So I'm going to say opportunities by stage year to date. Okay. And I can't type, as many of you who work with me know. And then if you want to put in a subtitle, you can put in, you know, for the y-axis, you can, whoops, x-axis, that should be sales stage. Okay, and then that will put that over here. And then you can say value or amount in thousands. Okay. Then you go to the legend. Now with a bar chart, you really don't need a legend. It is turned on. So we're just going to turn it off. Okay. And it was displayed over here. Let me scroll over. So see, it puts a legend for you. And then when I turn it off, it goes away. So that's there. Okay. We'll do another chart with a legend so you see how to format the legend. Tooltip, this is turned on. And what this does is if you point to one of the columns, a little window pops up to give you the value. So this would be, maybe you want the tooltip, maybe you don't, because if you already have the value displayed at the top, it's kind of redundant, but we'll leave it turned on for now so you see what it does. And then the color you get to pick a color for your tooltip. The text is dark, so you want to pick something that's lighter or medium, not a dark color against a dark color. Okay. Then appearance, you get to pick a color scheme. So you have some different color schemes down here that you can pick. So, we can go to that, try that. Okay. Drill down. This actually connects you to the reports module. In the reports module, you could create a report that is pulling in the same data. So like right down here, I do have opportunities by stage year to date already designed. So we'll pull that in. And if you don't have a report design, you can go back to the reports module and create it, then come back into the chart and edit it and add it to the drill down. Then the data filter, this is where you're pulling in your data. So what we did in opportunities is we said we want the status to be active, okay? And then we want the time filter to be year to date. So we want to duplicate that filter. So we're going to do status, and I'm going to do contains active. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the time filter tab and I'm going to select the close date is year to date. Okay. And then I'm done. So now at this point, I can click save or I can click save as. If I have given my chart title a name that makes sense, then I can simply click save and it will pick up this name for the chart. If I want to give it a different name, then I could click save as. So I think if you name it, put the title in, to give you an idea of what the whole chart is about, that really helps when you're looking at a list of charts too. So I'm good. I'm going to click save. And when I go back, I will now have my opportunities by stage year to date. And this is the same as the home view. I can change to list view, which means then I see my charts in a list. So you can see now, here's my chart. The name is here, the title. I have my labels along the Y and the X axis. And then I have each of my stages. And notice the total is above. That's your enable labels. This is your tooltip. So when I point to it, I get the value. That's why I say it's a bit redundant if you've put the labels at the top. But it's nice. This is nice, especially on a pie chart sometimes where you can point to it and it pops open. So you can see now the value of each of your sales stages for your active opportunities so far this year. Okay. So that's one chart and you're good to go on that one. So the next one, what I wanted to show you is sales. I'm going to do the top 5 accounts in the sales module. So what this would be, and again, some of you aren't using the sales modules, so you can do something like that in your opportunities, the top 5 opportunities you have for value or quotes or whatever. So again, you just go to the module that you have data and use it. So if I go look at my sales module, again, I have all sales. But I would want to limit it to year to date. And then I would look for my top 5 values. Okay. I'm not going to bother with the filter here right now, but that's really what you can do. So you can look at your order date, as year to date, and then you would see all of your sales records, and then you could sort by the subtotal to see what the top 5 are. So, well, what the heck, let's do that. So just go here. order date, year to date. So I have just 2021. Then I can go to the subtotal column and sort by it to get my largest down, and then I can see my top 5 here. Okay. But we want to create a chart that shows that. So we're going to go back to dashboards and a new dashboard. Sales. Then we're going to pick a function again, and the function is going to be the sum of the subtotal. Now, the difference between subtotal and total is the total will include any tax and shipping that you've added to the sale record, which you probably don't want. So you want your subtotal is just the sale of the products without tax and shipping. So that's the difference. And then again, the scale type, I'll choose currency this time just so you see the difference. And then our argument property is the sale, is the account, okay? Because we're doing this by the top 5 account. I'm going to move my Zoom toolbar out of the road here. So I'm doing account. And now you can see it's listing all the accounts because that's what it's looking for. And then again, I can do these in thousands if I want. I'm going to leave it plain so you can see the difference. I obviously want it to ignore empty. And then I'm going to go to my chart type. So my chart type, bar chart is probably fine, and then enable labels. But here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to say select top. And then I can say the top 5, the top 10, so on and so forth. So it depends on, you know, how many companies you work with. So we'll do the top 5. All right. Chart title can be for sales, and then do year to date. Okay. And then you could put in your X and Y axis names. Legend, again, we don't need a legend for this one. Tooltip is enabled. This color works well. Appearance, we can pick a different color. We'll do that. Drill down, we won't worry about this time. Data filter, this is in sales, so we don't really need a data filter. We're just looking for the values at the top 5. And then time filter, we do want where the order date is year to date, because we don't want it looking at everything. Okay. And while we're here, we have year to date and we have a fixed date range. I don't know how many of you have worked with the time filters, but they're really nice because when you set things like this, like for this one day, week, month, quarter, they will roll forward with you as you're moving from month to month. And this will do the same thing. This is going to do year to date until December 31st, 2021. And then on January 1st, 2022 is going to start all over again. And you'll start with your top 5 accounts for 2022. Now, when you get to the end of the year, sometimes what you want to do is save. You want it fixed for the year. So once you get to the end of the year, what you could do is you could put in the date range, a specific range of January 1, 2021 to December 31, 2021, do a save as and save it with a different name saying, you know, top 5 accounts, 2021, you know, for sales. And then that way you've locked it in and it will only look at that range of dates, but then you can still have the year to date one that will then proceed forward into 2022. So that's kind of the difference. most of the time you don't want to lock in a date range because you want this to roll forward with you. So you don't have to keep coming in and changing the date. Okay. So that's what the difference is here. This locks it, these let it roll. Okay. And we want it to roll right now. So we have the time filter. We don't have a data filter because we don't need it. So we have everything and we named it what we wanted. So we're going to save it. And so now we will see our top 5 accounts. And this was the one that was there, the 47,000. So we can see the top 5 accounts that we had back in our sales module where the filter is still sitting, or at least order. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now as sales continue to come in, anything that gets higher than any of these current top 5 will displace the ones that are there and redo the dashboard. So it's kind of nice to be able to see that, know who your best customers are. And like I said, you could do the top 10, maybe at the end of the year, they get some sort of free services or whatever, some thank you, special Christmas gift, whatever. So that's how you can do that one. All right. Then another one that you could do in the sales module, and again, you could do this in opportunities. I just happen to pick sales. You could do a sales by rep. And you could either do a total amount, sales by rep, or you could do a percent. Who's doing the better percent of all the sales team? So again, new dashboard. We're going to pull from the sales. But like I said, you could pull from opportunities if you're not using sales. And our value property, again, is going to be a function. And this time, we're doing a sum of the subtotal again. And then your scale type is going to be percent. Okay. And then the data field for the x-axis is going to be the owner. Actually, in the sales module, it's sales rep. Okay. And then you can leave these, again, depending on, you've got this giant number over here. So it won't show up that way. So we'll just let it go and see what it does. Okay. All right. So we see that chart type. Now this one would probably display better as a pie chart. So we're going to do a pie chart. We're going to have the labels that would show up around the pie. And this is going to be, oops. And again, you could do year to date, you could do this quarter, whatever you want to see. If you're trying to do like quarterly reports, then you could do this quarter, and then it would roll forward from quarter to quarter for you. Okay. And then the legend, we definitely want the legend, which is over here. Okay. And then you have some control over the legend. The legend orientation, is it horizontal? Is it vertical? Currently it's vertical. If I change it to horizontal, that's what it will look like, which I don't like. It kind of squashes the chart. Then the vertical alignment, is it at the top or is it the bottom? If I scroll back over, it's now at the bottom. It's okay. Okay. The horizontal alignment, is it right? Is it center? Is it left? It's currently right. If I center it, that's what it does. Don't like. Left. Okay. Okay. So you choose the positioning of the legend, and I'm going to leave it over here because I don't have to scroll over anymore. And then you can pick a background color if you wanted to put a background color behind it. Okay. You can show a border if you want to see it, and then you can select the color for the border. So we'll get a little crazy here. So I can put a blue border around it, and I can change this color to whatever I want. So again, you got to be aware of the color of the text because you can't change it. So if I did this really weird green, that's a little tough on the eyes. Okay. So you can do that. All right. So that's how you can format your board, your legend. You know, if you don't want any of that stuff, then just turn it back off. Then the tooltip, again, this is probably helpful on a pie chart. And we'll do this since we did the same color there. Appearance, you can select different colors. So again, that one's kind of boring. Actually, the top one was the best. Best colors. Okay. And then drill down if you have a report. I have to go back and show you how that report thing works. And then you set your data filter. So if you have a data filter, we don't really need one. We're doing this from sales, so we don't need to filter anything other than the time. So again, we're doing order date, year to date. So these will be all the sales by rep so far this year. Okay. And then I have the name, so I'm just going to save it. And when I come back, there's my chart. So I can see each person and what percent of the sales they have. Now, if you wanted to do another one where it's not the percent, you could have the total sales per person. So again, whatever way you want to do it, you just create it and do it. Okay. And I think you can see by now that the process of creating the chart is the same. You do through the tabs and you decide what you want, you decide how you want to display it, all of that, and it comes through. So that's there. Then another one that you might want to do if you're doing, you know, tracking some of your lead sources and, you know, what's getting you the most business, and you're bringing things into your leads module, then we could do a chart that is all your leads that you've brought in grouped by the lead source. So you know which way your advertising is working the best. So again, test it out, go to leads. All right, I have all leads here, but what I want to see all of the new leads that have come in, have been created since the beginning of the year. Okay, so I'm going to go to my advanced search and I'm going to say for the time filter, creation date, year to date. Okay. And you, again, depending on how many leads you're bringing in, you might want to do this every month. If you're bringing in a lot of new leads and you want to see how they're coming in, you know, was it through an email campaign? Was it through your web page? Was it through a referral, whatever? You could do it per month. It just depends on how many leads you have coming in. I don't have a whole lot because this is just a demo database. So I'm constantly trying to add things to keep it going. So year to date works for me, but you can, you know, you can choose whatever filter works. So if I click search, then I will see that I have 14 new leads that have been put in since the beginning of the year. And then I also can see certain ones have been converted in my list here. And that could be another chart. How many leads did you convert since the beginning of the year? So those are, I'm hoping I'm giving you lots of ideas on how to do these kinds of charts so that you can pull up the data in a picture format. So we should get 14 records total when we do our dashboard. So let's go here and new dashboard. This time we're selecting the leads module and we're choosing a function. But what we're going to do now, we've done the sum function for everything so far. This time we're going to do the count, because what we want to do is count how many new leads did we bring in, okay, per lead source. And then this one is an interesting one that you can think about and you can kind of test it. In the leads module, you've got the company name and you've got the contact name. You could have duplicates of those in there. So what you could do is, instead of using one of those, you could go down and use the count of the email, because everybody's email is unique. And as long as you've captured the email address in the lead record, then that should give you an accurate count of everyone that's come in. So you may have to test it a little bit. You know, search on, use the account, the company name, see what you get, use the contact name, see what you get, use the email and see what you get. So it's something that's going to be unique for every record, that it doesn't count it as a duplicate, okay? And then your scale type here, because it is a count, can just be an integer. And then the data field, what we're looking at is the lead source, okay? And then these should all be okay. Then we'll go to our chart type. And here we could do a bar chart. We could do a pie chart. Let's do another pie chart. Okay. And we'll do a chart title. Again, I'm going to do year to date. Legend, yes, we want. We'll just leave it where it is. Tooltip, yes, we want. Appearance will leave the same because that's a nice set of colors. Data filter, we're not doing any particular data filter, but time filter, again, we're doing creation date, year to date. So it's new leads that have come in so far this year. What, you know, looking at the lead source. So we save it. So there we go. So we can see that through a campaign, like an email campaign, we got one new lead. I only have 14, so those numbers should add up to 14. We got 3 through social media. So again, if you're bringing in leads, you're going to have, you know, different numbers, but you can see it's pretty easy to create these. In what, 39 minutes, we have created what, 5 charts now? 4 charts. Okay. So pretty simple once you know how to do it. All right. One last one. One of the things that people like to know many times are activities. This one was already built in. This was here, where it's showing activities by type. Again, you could see them by type, how many calls were made versus how many emails were sent, et cetera, et cetera. It's not really drilling down to any specific person. It's how much your whole team that's entering activities in there, showing them by type. We could also create one where we see them by the owner, okay? And again, I'm going to go back to activities. Now, my activities in here are not, there's not lots of activities in here, okay, that are current, let's say. So I've got lots of activities, but if I'm limiting the date range, I've got them going out to 2022. Okay. But if I limited my date range to 2021, I don't have a whole lot in here, but we'll go see what we get. So let's go back to dashboards. And new dashboard. And this time we'll pull from the activities module. And we're going to do a function again, and we're going to do a count of, okay? And then we want to do a count of the activity. Let's see, I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. And it'll be an integer. And the data field here for the y-axis will be the owner, or the assigned to, actually. So assigned to, okay? Now let's see, I may not have done that right. Customer related. So wait a minute, let's see. We want to count of. See, sometimes you do have to figure this out. I think that's what I want to do. All right, then we're going to make it a, we'll do a bar chart and see what we get. I'm thinking, so this is activities. And this could be one where you do last week. You know, what did people do last week? How many phone calls did they make? How many this, how many that? Yeah, okay. So we're going to keep going here. Let's go over to the time filter. And this is the other thing you need to decide with activities. In Claritysoft, you have a start date when your activity is scheduled. You also have a complete date when you complete it. And so you need to decide what you're going to base your chart on, or your reports if you're doing activity reports. The start date would be, okay, I have an activity scheduled for today. I do it today, but for some reason, I don't complete it, okay? And so it's still sitting there as an open activity, and it doesn't land in the report if I choose by the completed date. So it's very important to get your team trained to make sure they complete activities on the day they do them as much as possible, which they should be able to do. And then if you're basing your report on the completed date, then you're getting an accurate, yep, it's done, they did it, and I have it. So let's see what we get here. I'm thinking we're not going to get what we want. Okay, customer related, not defined. Okay, so I did not do something. How did they do these up here? Let's edit the dashboard. This is how you learn. So this is the count of the activity, and the data field is the activity. Okay. That makes sense. So activities by owner. Okay. See, the instructor doesn't always do it perfectly either. But this is how you learn. I made a mistake. How do I fix it? It's life with computers. Oh, I picked category. That's what happened. I missed assigned to. Well, duh. Okay. All righty. Now let's get down here. Oh, now I'm getting nothing. Probably threw the filter out, I bet. Assigned to completed date, year to date. Nope. Okay. Chart type, bar chart. Well, it shows stuff here. I don't know what I did. Anyway, we should be able to get it to work, but we'll figure it out. So that's there. Get in there. I know you can do it. So activity, count of activities assigned to. Let's change it to owner just for jollies. Okay. Nope. Okay. I'm doing something wrong, folks. So we won't worry about it right now. But what I wanted to do was come back up to that opportunity report that had the drill down attached, the report attached to it. When you point to each chart, you have the edit button, the delete, the print, and the refresh. Notice on this one, there's an extra button right here. That's your drill down report button. So when I click on that, it actually runs the report. So there's the preview of it, and then I can download it to Excel, and then I can see the detail of that report. So this is my opportunities by stage. It's showing each stage, okay? And that one doesn't have a stage, which is why it's there. And then we have the discovery stage, 45 records in discovery, so on and so forth. And then it will give you the subtotal per stage and the average, because I designed that in the report. And then at the bottom, I have the 3,580,000, which if I go back to opportunities is what I should have. I may not have the filter set the same way. I might not have just active opportunities. I think I do though. No, I have one. I have one in here, so I don't have the same filter. But this is kind of nice because you can have the chart made, and then right from the chart, you can click on that drill down button. If you've attached a report, open the report and see the detail. And so you can design your reports in the reports module and then attach them to the chart. Okay. So that's about all I have for today. For once, you guys are going to get out before an hour because I usually yammer for an hour. Hopefully, this has given you some good ideas on different types of charts or dashboards that you can create. And like I said, you can have up to 8 visible in here, and you can have 4 visible on the home screen. So now if I go back to my home screen and I look at the chart indicators list, you will see the different charts that we created. So I did top 5 account sales amounts right here. There's that chart. And these will just go in the order in which you lay them in. Oops, that one's not the right one. It's a different one. Let's see. And that was year to date, right? Yeah, hold on. So here it is, top 5 accounts for sales year to date. There it is. So there's the chart. So anything you create in dashboards can be viewed on the home screen. And what a lot of people do, especially manager type people, will create your dashboards. And then when you log in, you can have this home screen as your default module to land in. And the way that you do that is you come up here to the settings button, the gear shape, and on the left, you go to my preferences under my settings, and then here, default module. So if I change this to home and click apply, then I can log out. Oops. And when I go in, it's going to take me to the home screen and display the key indicators and the chart indicators that I have set up there. So I can see right away what's in my database. And probably I would change this to the tile view just because you don't have to scroll so much. Okay. So it's right there. You can see your numbers, where you are, and then you can go off to do your work. So that's using dashboards, creating them, saving them, and then using them. Okay. So hopefully you got enough information. And I'll say all those that are attending, if you figure out why that activities thing doesn't work and let me know, I don't know, I'll send you a cookie and Jack will get that. So anyway, yeah, if you figure it out, I'll figure it out and probably let you guys know what I did wrong, but I don't want to waste your time. So thanks for being here. Hopefully you got some good ideas and your head is swimming a little bit with some things that you want to do. And thanks for coming as usual. And then if you need help and you're not in working with anybody in implementation right now, Mike, Linda, or myself, then you can call our tech support team. And they're a friendly bunch of folks. And at 888-838-7487 extension 2, or email them at support@claritysoft.com. Future topics, please let us know. Give us critiques on what we're doing, how we can make it better for you, ideas on other topics that you would like to see that are in the database that would help you be a better Claritysoft user. So thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.